Really hope y'all been taking care of yourselves. Hope y'all been growing and glowing every day. Like the video if you've been showing yourself love. Like the video if you've been retaining. Now I want y'all to understand something. I noticed something that don't get talked about on this journey at all, and it's how you become more of your authentic self when you're on this journey, taking care of yourself, loving yourself. You become more your authentic self when you start raising your frequency. You start raising spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. You start to become more of your authentic self, and life becomes so much more magical. Like I don't see no one talking about like how you just become authentic. And when I say authentic, I mean like you see the divine in everything and everyone. Like a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about right now. Like y'all been taking care of yourself so long that when you come across strangers, you don't see them as strangers. You see them as just a reflection as you, and you don't treat them no different. You know how you treat them is a reflection of how you treat yourself. You become more of your authentic self on this journey. I want you to understand. You stop operating less out of ego, out of that fear. I'm saying this because I noticed this about myself. Like before being on this journey, I used to be so in my ego. Like, like before I was D-Baby, before I was any of that, I used to just be in my ego in this matrix. I used to treat people how I wanted to. I used to think it was me against the world. I used to think, oh, it's me against everybody. It's me against the world. Or I'm by myself. I'm solo dolo. I used to really think like that. I used to be so in my ego. And that comes from when you're living at that lower self, when you're living in fear, when you live for external validation, when you think other people's perceptions and things like that matter. That's you living in your ego. That's you living in that lower self. And that's what I was doing for so long. And I fully realized I was never being authentic until now. Now I know it's not me against the world. I know I'm not solo dolo. I know we all in this together. I know I have so many people that relate with me. And I fully understand. And I don't hold them separate. I don't hold them separate from myself. And that's another thing that happens when you're not on this journey, when you're not taking care of yourself, when you're not tapping into yourself. You hold yourself separate from yourself. You start to compare yourself to other people. You start to think your life ain't better than the people around you, your friends, or whatever, whoever's around you, or whatever it may be. Y'all gotta understand, you become so authentic on this journey. You just become this bright light of positive energy, and you want to just share it everywhere you go. You want to uplift people everywhere you go. And I'm not saying that you become this overly like high and mighty, like you don't get angry or upset. That can happen. You're a human being. You're going to feel these emotions. But at the end of the day, you are always in control. You are always aware that you are the awareness of these emotions. You are the awareness of these thoughts as they arise. Oh, my soul changed everything. When I was operating at that lower self, living for my ego, that it be the thoughts in your head. You are not that voice in your head. I'm telling you, you are not that voice in your head. That is your ego. It always leads you astray. It always takes us off our path. It always has us comparing ourselves, living in fear, worrying, and living in scarcity, hoarding things. Just at that low level, our mind, that voice, and that mental chatter is not us. That's not who you are. So if you're someone you've been struggling with thoughts, you've been struggling with your mind racing and things like that nature, it's not who you are. That's your ego. It's trying to lead you astray. Every time you be listening to that voice in your head, it always be having you comparing yourself. It always has you thinking someone next to you better than you. Always has you think you have to do this to please somebody. Always having you thinking you have to do something to receive internal validation outside of yourself. You are the awareness. Never forget that. I'm telling you, countless times in my journey or in my life, I have let my mind and my mental chatter run my world, run everything. I've been ran, and I used to care so much about what other people thought about me. I used to care so much about other people's perceptions of me. I used to care so much about having this certain thing or having enough of this thing. Or I used to just care so much about things that don't matter, don't serve me no purpose, don't add me no value to my life. It was just taken away from me, draining me, keeping me stuck, keeping me at that fear. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. Living that way is the worst thing you can do. And being on this journey, you step away from that. You get away from that. I'm telling you. I see it clear as day. I'm loving to be around people way more. I love talking to people way more. I find myself having conversations with strangers all the time. All the time. Just the other day, I was sitting over at my neighbor's house for like 30 minutes. He's like 73 years old. Just chatting it up with him. I just find myself feeling connected everywhere I go. With everyone and everything. I see the connection. I feel the connection. I know there's a connection there. I know it. And I can just think back to and think like I would never be doing YouTube or none of that, be behind camera, none of that, because I was being ran off my mind. I was such in fear, bro. Y'all gotta understand. I wasn't on Instagram. No, I wanted to be a ghost. I wanted to be away. And don't get me wrong, to this day I still feel like that. I be wanting to disappear all the time. But that just be on some like spiritual stuff, on some like I'll be drained and I just be wanting to recharge my energy and just focus on myself. But realistically, I never wanted to get on camera. I was uncomfortable on camera. I was scared to be on camera. I let my mind scare me to be on camera. I let my own mind stop me from becoming my greatest version so many times. And a lot of y'all are going through this right now. Your own mental chatter is what's stopping you. Your own mental and your own mind operating from that ego, that voice in your head is what's stopping you from getting to where you want to be. It's holding you back. It's keeping you chained down. And it's all because you don't understand that you are the awareness. Never forget that. This energy is real. This journey is so real. The more you focus on yourself and you tap in with yourself, is the more and closer you get to the divine. I'm telling y'all, you have to take that time alone. Take that time to yourself. Stop putting things above you. Stop putting things before you. Stop doing things for other people. Stop doing things outside of you. Love yourself and focus on yourself. It just feels like nothing's ever enough, and that you're lacking when you're not operating from your authentic self. From when you're just operating out of your ego's in control. You're getting ran by that mental chatter in your mind. You're getting ran by all them thoughts. You're getting ran by all that mental diarrhea. You got to understand, your authentic self doesn't know any fear. It doesn't know fear. It doesn't believe in any of that shit. And a lot of y'all already have experienced this and have experienced your authentic self before. You've been in flow states. You've been in states to where you don't care about anything outside of you. You don't care about anything external. You don't care about what that person's saying no more. You don't care about what your parents think. You don't care about their opinions. You don't care about anything that doesn't serve you because you are just living as your authentic self. It doesn't know any fear. There's no fear. The mental chatter ain't there because you are operating from your authentic self. So when these thoughts do arise, you understand that you are the awareness and that you can just kick it to the side. You just kick it to the side. You just put your hand in there and pull it out and get rid of it. Y'all have to understand, this journey is so powerful. And I'm bringing this because a lot of y'all are being ran by your minds. I'm seeing a lot of y'all relapsing. A lot of y'all going through it with females. A lot of y'all are talking about your parents are questioning what you're doing. A lot of y'all are just being ran by that mental chatter. And it's having you, and it's leading you astray. It's leading you to these bad cycles. It's leading you to do things out of your ego for that validation. Because it's moving out of fear. You're operating out of fear. You got to stop operating out of fear. And just know and trust and have that inner conviction and know that you are fine and know that what you are doing is the right decision. You are doing what is right for you in that moment. You are doing what you know is best for you. I promise y'all, there is nothing better than having this connection, really being and living out of your authentic self. Really let your authentic self take over and just operate. You really stop giving an F, bro. You stop giving an F completely. You have to understand your authentic self doesn't have fear. It doesn't care about none of this thing, nothing from the 3D. It does not care. Your authentic self just understands that everyone is connected, everyone is one, that we are all divine, that we are all extensions of the creation. Your authentic self knows that already. And you'll not hold anyone separate or nothing separate from you no more. You'll stop separating yourself from something that you are experiencing. You will appreciate this thing or this life that you are experiencing. You will start to enjoy this life way more. It becomes so magical, I'm telling y'all. When you operate out of your authentic self, it's like the energy shifts. It's like everything just shifts. It's like you just have a bunch of more positive experiences coming your way. A bunch more blessings coming your way. Just a bunch more things that are overall good for you coming your way. And it's only when you operate from your authentic self and you really love yourself and take care of yourself and you're not getting ran by that mental chatter. Mental chatter is ruining a lot of y'all. Being ran by your minds, thinking that you are your thoughts, thinking that you are your emotions, thinking that you are this body. It is ruining y'all. It is holding y'all back. It is keeping you stuck. No, you are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness of it all as it arises. You are the awareness. Think about it. When you are thinking, who is even aware that you are in deep thoughts? Thinking in that moment. Duh. You are that awareness that is aware that you are thinking. Y'all have to understand me. This journey is amazing. I'm trying to get y'all to understand, bro. This journey is amazing. I'm telling y'all. You will start operating out of your authentic self, and I don't see no one talking about this. And that's because a lot of people are not truly operating out of their authentic selves. They operate out of spiritual ego or just ego in general. It'd be so crazy. Y'all gotta understand, you should be operating out of love and loving all and loving everything. Stop separating yourself from everything. Stop saying it's you versus the world. Stop saying you're just solo dolo. No, that's not true. That's your ego thought. That's that mental chatter. Get rid of that. And you get rid of that by focusing on yourself, really going within and meditating and doing breath work, being still. Y'all gotta understand, the more you're still is the more you connect with God. The more you are still and silent is the more you connect with God. That Christ consciousness within you. Y'all be too busy distracting ourselves. Y'all too busy wearing that mask. Y'all still wearing that mask. put on a persona to live in this world we live in, to operate in this matrix. Y'all never take time to take that mask off and really look at yourself. You never take time to take the mask off and really heal, really overcome these things and really accept things. You got to take that mask off, buddy. You got to start wearing that mask. That persona ain't getting you nowhere. You wonder why you feeling angry. You feeling mad. You feeling bitter. Or you wonder why you have a good week and then you go right back to destroying yourself the next week. Because you keep wearing that mask. You keep running away from yourself. Take the mask off. Sit still with yourself and focus on yourself. I promise y'all, there's nothing better than becoming your authentic self and living more and more out of your authentic self. You create way more relationships that way, way more connections that way. People want to talk to you that way. People want your energy more. It's insane. Like, this journey is insane. I want y'all to really understand what I'm saying. The more and more you love yourself and take care of yourself and become more authentic, it will serve you so much more. So much more than letting your mental chatter have you operate off your ego. Now you're living off the mind. And now your mind told you not to make that video. Now you're not going to make that video. You had a good video idea. You was about to bring hella game to people. But now you picked up the camera. Now your mind's thinking, what they going to say? Once if I say this wrong? Once if people start questioning me? Then you didn't do it. You was going to go talk to that girl you've always wanted to talk to. But then your mind got to telling you, oh, once if she say no? Once if she think I'm not, or I'm weird? Once if I'm this or that? That mental chatter gets in the way. Stop being ran by the mind. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not the body. I love y'all, man. Take care of yourselves.